Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Untangled. We are on episode 1, 2, 3, and it's really good to be here with all of you this Tuesday morning, April 15th. Strapping on our seatbelts, riding this crazy ride of evolution in human consciousness. It's always good to be here with you guys. Didn't really want to show up this morning. Full disclosure, um, having a rough morning, but I think one of the greatest gifts that we have on this planet right now is to be of service to others, and we all need it right now more than anything. We need to be able to come together and to just simply share and speak about what we're going through, what we're navigating. And if you're new to Untangled, Untangled is an episode I do, or sorry, a series I do every Tuesday, talking about just the real human experiences of peeling back and navigating our evolution in human consciousness. And how are we doing this? Why are we doing this? What does it look like? What does it feel like? And really just breaking apart the complexity of a real massive, magical, miraculous evolution in human consciousness on a planetary body. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And yeah, let's get going. Before I get going, there's two things I want to share. I just opened up I'm doing an 11-day class starting next Wednesday, an 11-day class of stillness with Yeshua. So it's a combination of my align class, which was a class I did about practicing awareness. And it's a combination of practicing awareness, so align, and sitting with Yeshua. So we'll be practicing every day for 11 days, awareness practices, sitting with ourselves, being in stillness, listening to thoughts, emotions. It's the most freeing practice tool we could have is awareness. But this time for 11 days, we're going to bring Yeshua in and have him sit with us as well and connect with him and let him be a part of the class. So it's a combination of those two things. Anyways, the link is down below if you want to join. It's for 11 days, every day for 11 days. Um, so I don't think there's anything more important, in my opinion, than awareness right now. And if you want a deeper connection with Yeshua as well, please join us. So it starts on April 23rd. And we do have some coupon codes for those of you that are unable to pay the full price. All right, so that's my only announcement that I have. Let's get going. How are you guys, by the way? Um, how are you guys feeling? Yeah, it'll be an amazing class. Curious how you are today. I man, oh man, crazy, fearful thoughts. Yeah, I'm going to share a little bit about um, tired, stressful, calm, connected, good, sore, teary eyes, stillness, fantastic. March was hard, lost, overwhelmed, depressed, heavy, fearful, exhausted. Um, Motivation, momentum, making anything happen. Man, isn't that the truth? It's interesting. There's so many things I've been feeling lately. Um, so if you guys know what I do in my Untangled series. I'm just very, very honest and authentic and real. Also, if you have not gotten my book, hold on. If you've not gotten my book, The Divine Design, you absolutely must get this book. It is the Bible of why we are going through what we're going through. It's the history of Earth. It's the history of humanity. Um, It talks about why the earth was created and designed, how the human body was created and designed. Um, Talks about how we fell from the fifth dimension to the third dimension. It talks about how we are now in the third dimension, moving back up to the fifth dimension, which is the evolution in human consciousness. Highly recommend getting it in on the audiobook. But anyways, it is a real big, deep, deep remembrance. Encourage you to check it out. And if it's overwhelming or too much, just put it by your bedside and you'll pick it up later. Really, really powerful remembrance of what we're doing here. So the reason I'm talking about this book right now is because this book is very complex. It's very, very, it's a very complex book. And what's so great is that although there is this complexity to life, right? There is a complexity to all of this. Um, there is underneath all this complexity is a very simple human experience. So peeling back the complexity of physics and energy and dimensions and how all of this is happening and ascension symptoms and all of this stuff, when you start to peel it back more and more, peeling it back means you become more and more conscious and aware of just what you're experiencing and feeling in presence. So I have no motivation. I have no desire, right? I feel yuck. This is you literally peeling back the complexity of the human evolution, right? And being in the human evolution in every moment, which is very different, right, than reading about the complexity of what this is all about. This is very easy to do, right? You can read about things, you can gain all this information, you can go into all these complex rabbit holes, but nothing is more challenging and more difficult and more courageous than being in each moment that you're in right now. And for some reason, being in each moment that we're in, it seems almost pointless or meaningless, right? Like, oh, the fact that I have no motivation or that I'm exhausted or that I have a lot of fear, that isn't part of the evolution. This is something I have to fix. This is something I have to get rid of. This is what I need to get to, right? I need to get to these places um, that are more grandiose or more spiritual or whatever that word is, right? And um, that's the dichotomy of this evolution, is that actually the greatest, juiciest gifts is what you're experiencing right now. That is you doing and being the evolution in human consciousness, which is what you came down here to do. So I was sitting this morning, and again, I bring this up because this book is pretty freaking complex and incredible, right? And I wrote it, and I'm recognizing as I move into as I continue to move into this evolution in human consciousness, although I have this awareness and I understand how we all got here. I understand the Earth's desire to create all of this. I understand how the body was made. I understand how DNA was created. I understand light codes and all of that. What I am being brought to more and more in each day, thank you, Lori, for that super chat. What I am being brought to each day is the simplicity of my everyday experiences, the simplicity of it. I'm not being guided to these more complex um, storylines. Um, but instead the real simple basic human experiences that I have every day, every hour, every minute. And I would argue that that is 10 times more difficult than learning new complex things that are happening out there. I would also argue that what's happening right now on the planet is that because presence can be so challenging right now, because being and that's why it's so courageous for all of you to be in what you're in right now, because to be in just simply what I'm um, in a world that is continuing to pull you and distract you, it's very difficult, right? So I woke up this morning and so I just opened up this class, right? Stillness, wait, what is it? Yeah, Stillness with Yeshua, 11 days. Um, and you know, if you what I've noticed in the last 6 months, just personally, is that as I get closer to God, as I start walking in service to God, when I as I start letting go of the fleshly desires out there, like, you know, having to make all this money and having to have all of these fancy things and having to be successful and having to you know, have nice, like all these, like, oh, you've got to do this and you got to have this and you got to make this kind of this, like all these external things. The more I let that go, the more I let it die, right? And the more I just come back to, thank you, Martin, once again for the super chat. When I come back to just the ability to practice living as a vessel for God, the more my mind attacks me, my thoughts attack me. They get way, way more intense, way more intense. Like, and the more people out there attack me. So it's a real interesting experience to be had because, um, you know, there is a real, thanks, Dewey. I love you, my friend. There is a real powerful spiritual battle happening on the planet, and it is energetic. And if I were to sum up where we are going as a human collective, you guys talk about this all the time, but it's to be um, godlike in human form, walk as godly as possible. That is Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is God consciousness, which means it's compassion, kindness, service to others, um, unifying, authenticity, love, open heartedness, right? And being able to live that way. And the more that you start to embody these characteristics of God or Christed consciousness, the more the external world and everything that it wants from you dies. And when that happens, I want you to imagine that there are these like leeches in the external world, like the world around you has these like leeches, these energetic vampire type of energies that are trying to constantly pull at you all day long, and they're disguised as thought, and just noise, right? Voices and noise, but it's disguised as thought. This whole planet has been controlled through the mind, which is thought. And we're going to have to become real, strong, powerful warriors to the mind, which means that we're going to have to recognize. That's why my class, Stillness with Yeshua, that's why my Align classes, anything that gets you to listen to the mind is the most powerful thing. The more you can listen to thought, the more you'll be free. But it's very, very, very difficult to listen to thought because you think that you are the thoughts. And then it brings you down depression or anger. Like you start going down these paths of I'm not worthy, or I shouldn't be doing this, or I need to stop this, or whatever it is. And what you'll notice is that what I notice is that when the thoughts get real intense, don't do this, don't say that, don't teach this, don't talk about that, when those things come in, and they come in loud, when I start aligning with God. Don't speak this, don't share this, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, no one wants to hear. I mean, it gets so loud. Um, you'll notice that as you start to become more kind of like pure or aligned or authentic, not only do those thoughts get louder and louder, right? But people will come at you to try to even, like, double down on those thoughts, right? You'll start getting people, at least if you're on social media, you'll start getting people coming at you, trying to convince you of why you shouldn't be doing what you're doing or you can't do what you're doing, right? And you start just getting I start becoming very aware of what's happening. And I always see everything as this energetic experience. Everything is energy, right? So I'm recognizing, like, oh, okay. So the more that I align to be of service to God, which is what I say every single day, make me a vessel for your work, God. Make me a vessel for your work, Jesus. Make me a vessel. Show me how I can best serve today. The more that I do that and the more that I show up, especially online, um, the louder the thoughts can get. And then I start realizing, wow, this is a real strong energetic battle that I'm in. And it's very easy to get to lay down to your thoughts. It's very easy to succumb to the, like, just let the thoughts take over. The other thing about because the thoughts aren't you, they're not you, they never have been you. And the thought I hate to say this, but the enemy, which are these thoughts and these, like, energetic vampires, they're gonna get louder and louder if you start, becoming more and more your authentic self, your God self. You start serving through the lens of God, and these energy you'll start hearing these thoughts that are like, "What in the heck?" And it's these real crazy energies that play out in thought and as thought. Why? Because thought is the most potent way of controlling humanity. Why? Because people aren't aware of thought. They're numb to it and they just believe it. It's how we that's how programming works. Which again is why it is so, so, so essential to start becoming aware of thought more. And it's very difficult. People don't want to. So what I wanna share is there's this interesting experience. Many of you know that I don't subscribe to the beliefs or programming around changing my thoughts, positive thinking, that kinda stuff. Um, one, because I understand that my thoughts aren't even me, so what do I need to change them for? Um, and two, there is something really profoundly powerful right now when I sit in the chaos of the thoughts. So I'm not, for me personally, I feel like I'm doing a disservice when I have all these insane thoughts coming in and I try to push them aside and bring something positive in. For me personally, there is a real potent gift in these thoughts. There's something that I need to almost learn from what I'm experiencing. Like uh, I was sitting this morning with Yeshua and I was like, what is this? And he says that you need to sit with this is the magic. This is there is something so um, potent for you in these intense thoughts. Dissect them, meaning, like, feel into them. Pay attention to what they're trying to get you to do. He was literally talking to me about the thoughts as if they were energies coming in, right? It's like, oh, you have to retrain your mind. No, 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 no. It was like, pay attention to what is infecting your mind. It's like parasites. So if you have this notion that you just need to change your thoughts, then you're still under the assumption that that thoughts are something to be controlled, right? Whereas if you start to recognize that what's happening to a huge majority of humanity is there are these parasitic, literally imagine them like worms, parasitic energies that are infiltrating the human mind as thought. And if we just say, oh, let me just change that to a positive thought, You're not actually realizing what's happening. So we have to start to actually understand that these are not normal thoughts any longer. These are parasitic energies that are coming into the infiltrating the mind. And if you really sit and start dissecting it, if you have the courage to really sit with these so the reason it's so difficult is because I believe these thoughts, and they literally convince me, not to speak about God, not to speak about Yeshua, not to speak about my authentic expression. Like, they are convincing me that this is a horrible idea. Not only are they convincing me, but then they're going to shoot me emails and comments and messages from people to reinvent, reinst, re like double down on those thoughts. And if I am not super, super, super conscious of what's happening, I won't be able to stand in and fight against these parasitic thoughts. And the way I fight against these thoughts is not to change the thoughts, right? It's not to positive think the thoughts into something else. It's to fight against them. I see you. I see you. I see what you're doing. And you're not speaking to like some governmental system. You're speaking to energies. You're speaking to energies. It's way too easy to say, "Oh, I'm speaking to a group of people," or, "Oh, I'm speaking to a system out there called the government," or whatever. No, 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 no. It's much more difficult when you realize that you can't even pinpoint that which is infiltrating your mind. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. You don't even know where to go to point the finger. So then you just point the finger at yourself. And because we are born with thought, and thought is everything that creates our reality. It paints the picture. We have all these tools to help us navigate thought and to help us navigate the mind. And we understand, through physics and physiology and brain chemistry, how thought works, which is great and dandy. But we've gotta start, at least I do, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna start, and I'm continuing to start really looking at this game I'm in right now called the evolution in human consciousness, as the closer I get to aligning with God, the closer I get to doing the service of God's work on this planet through my body, the more intense these, parasitic energies will be, because you cannot see them and I cannot see them. And they do not want, I know this is going to sound crazy, but they do not want us to align to our God selves. And I want to really emphasize something. This God self, this godliness, this being of service to God, using your vessel, is not. It's not about you or me, I. What can I get? How can I do this? How can I receive more? How can I? You're literally getting out of the way. You're not feeding that ego anymore. You're not feeding the desires anymore that make you feel like a good person, right? Um, you're putting yourself aside more and more. And we're becoming, humanity will start to become more and more selfless. And that is Christ consciousness. That is the evolution in human consciousness. But when you start doing that, you know, these energies, these parasitic energies that have been controlling humanity's minds, um, they want us to be attached to desires, like egoic desires. They want us to believe that if we buy more things, we're happier. If we have more sex, we're happier. Not that there's anything wrong with sex, but like if we crave, more intimacy with humans, meaning like, oh, I need another partner, I need another partner, I need another partner, I need this, I need that. If we keep having these desires of more money, more money, more money, if we keep having these desires, and it's not to say that you should not have these things, right? But there's a difference between being taken care of in life and having everything you need and desiring these things as this egoic, almost um, uh, what's it called? Like gluttonous, like, oh, this is going to fill me up. This is going to make me feel better. Um, this is going to, I need these things in order to dot, dot, dot. And it's real tricky because we will argue for those desires. We will argue that um, it's necessary. And what I would say is that the more that you sit with just your pure aligned connection with God, the more you sit with just an open heart, the more you sit with no attachment to outcomes in the same way. So, you're not doing things for any other reason than to be of service. When you start doing that more and more, everything that once mattered, everything that you thought was important starts to fall away. Um, and your expression, the way in which you are perceived in the world, people start to feel you differently. They start to perceive you differently. There's something different about your aura. There's something different about your state of being when you're around people. Um, you're becoming more, pure in a way. And it's not because you're healing yourself or you're fixing all your trauma or you're changing all of your thoughts into high vibes and good vibes. You don't need to do all that. You just need to sit and connect straight to God, whatever God is. Any part of us that's still trying to become something. Oh, I need to be in a higher vibration. I need to be more positive. That's still us attached to this egoic structure as that this is the right way. That when you really start aligning with like service to humanity, service to God and letting God work through you. There's no such there isn't I got to bring myself into a higher vibrate. Like it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It's like everything gets stripped from you, everything gets pulled from you. And there's a real deep vulnerability. There's a vulnerability of like, "Oh my God, I'm not in control. Oh my God, I have no motivation and desire." The reason you have no motivation and desire is because you're God or source is trying to strip you from these egoic personas. God's trying to use you. He's trying to use your vessel to be of service. And he's trying, or it's trying to pull you from the temptations of this physical world. And so there's no desire anymore. You're like, I don't know what to do. I don't have a motivation to go do anything. It's because you're being prepped to be of service in a much bigger way. And you're being pulled from the external world, which has tempted you and me and everyone our entire lives. Really imagining that there's all these little carrots being dangled all around us. You want this, you need this, come do this, say these, like it's like all these temptations to get us out of this pure aligned state of being of absolute service for God, for humanity. And so what I found so interesting this morning when I was woke up and these thoughts were so and they felt these thoughts in me felt real dark. They felt very parasitic. And I'm used to being aware of thought. So I'm very, very, very I'm very aware of thought and what thought feels like. Um and so because I practice awareness, because I'm always aware of thought, I can feel into different thought forms, right? And these thoughts this morning were like, man, these are dark thoughts. They are they're infiltrated. I can feel that. I can feel it. And so when I sat with Yeshua and I was just praying, like, sit with me, open my heart, show me what this is all about. He was like, sit with this, because this is, peel this apart. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? Where is it stemming from? Right. And I just started to peel these thoughts apart and recognizing. He also said to me, he said, you have to, this is the battle. He said, this is the fight. He's like, do you just want to give up? Don't you want to fight for this? Don't you? And fight doesn't mean, it's not a bad thing. Like, oh, we shouldn't be. I'm not talking about like fighting. It's standing up for your evolutionary path. It's standing up against all of these toxic, infiltrated thoughts that are coming from the external world that you can't even see. You don't even know are infiltrating. Don't you want to stand up for that to them? Don't you want to say no more? Don't you want to fight for your authentic expression? Don't you want to fight for being of service to the world and for God? Yeah, I do. Okay, then fight against these thoughts. And fighting against the thoughts means you literally stand up against those thoughts. It's not the same sort of practice that we're used to, where it's like, okay, I'm going to change my thoughts, or I'm going to rewire my mind, and it's a neuroplastic type of. No, no, no. This is a whole different game. You're dealing with parasitic energies. We're dealing with parasitic energies. And it's not the same as it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Why is it different now? Because we're becoming more and more aligned with our true nature, which is a direct communication with God. We're starting to recognize, remember, turn on to who we are as these incredible lights, consciousnesses in human form, playing out this character. And the more that we do that, the more all the ways that we have been living they're just not going to resonate. What the world wants you to believe and how it wants you to live, you're going to see right through it. It's going to feel off. Something's going to feel off about it. The evolution is evolving, changing. So what used to work with how you dealt with thought is not going to be the same. Now, we can stay in the kindergarten playground and we can keep doing those things that it's like, okay, I'm going to just tell myself positive things or whatever. Or we're going to start to evolve with it and say, oh, this is a whole other level I'm in right now. This is a whole other playground. Game on. Game on. I was like, thinking about what, I heard. It's like it's kind of like if you find yourself in a battlefield, right? And you have to face the other team. You have to face them. You have to walk towards them. And you have to have the courage to walk straight into it. It's the same thing with these really parasitic thoughts that are coming in right now. The most difficult action to take is to face them head on, right? And to say, absolutely not. I'm going to look at you. I'm going to listen. I'm going to peel you apart. And I'm going to recognize what you're trying to do. This is a different game we're playing right now for many of us. You've got to really turn on the volume of those parasitic thoughts, because the knee jerk reaction is to just either immediately just believe them and let them take over for the rest of your day. Um, Practice tools that you've learned in the past to shift your thoughts, right? Or start getting mad and angry at the thoughts, beating yourself up. So I would encourage you, perhaps if this resonates, to try a completely different game right now with these parasitic thoughts. And that is game on. These thoughts are telling you to be quiet. These thoughts are telling you to stay away. These thoughts are telling you to not show up. These thoughts are telling you you're not good enough. These thoughts are telling you that you're not worthy. These thoughts are. I want you to think about something for a minute. What are the thoughts getting you to do? What are the thoughts? What is the outcome of these thoughts? Are they having you stay small? Are they having you keep quiet? Are they having you not share with people? Are they having you they're doing this, right? And because these thoughts are perhaps creating insecurity or confusion, it's a disempowerment. And when we are disempowered, confused, insecure, what do? We start looking out to the world to help us. What happens when we say, no more? I'm going deeper into my godliness. I'm aligning more and more with God. And that scares this energetic battle. They don't want that. They being these parasitic energies that have controlled this entire planet for thousands of years. They don't want you to align with source or God. They don't want it. They don't want you to pull away and detach from the external world. They don't want you to stop listening to them. They don't want you to stop turning on your phone and scrolling. They don't want you to stop buying all of these things and paying attention to all the fear and getting stressed out and worried because all of these things are about to happen on the planet and you better be aware. They don't want you to pull away from that. They don't want you to realize how empowered you are when you shut it all off. They don't want you to listen to what's inside of you. They don't want you to connect to God. It's the scariest thing for them, because then you remember what this is all about and you no longer can be controlled. When you sit in the fire of those parasitic thoughts and you say, bring it on, that is the battle, my friend. My God, my hat goes off to you. More courage to you, because you are becoming stronger. You're facing the freaking demon straight on. Like, and you're saying, no, I'm going to show up anyway. No, I'm going to say it anyway. No, I'm going to do it anyway. No, I'm going to be it anyway. This is the next leveling up of our evolution. This is a whole other level. And we have to be able, and there will be 99% of humanity that will tell you why you shouldn't do this, that you shouldn't battle the thought, meaning I'm going to stand in this, I'm going to fight you. And the fighting is, I'm not going to let you, I'm going to listen so loudly to you that I'm going to see right through you. I'm going to see right through, I'm going to see what you're trying to do. Because if the thoughts have never been you, and they haven't, and the thoughts have always come from external. Every thought comes from an external. No thought is born within you. And right now, we are in a massive, massive energetic battle of the mind. And there is more infiltration and parasitic energies going into your mind right now through what you are digesting, through the information and distraction of the planet, that it's getting so loud in your mind. The knee-jerk reaction is to continue to distract ourselves or play out the ways in which the tools used to work. Now it's like, "Oh, no, 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 no. Let's go. Game is on. Battle is on. Get louder because I wanna hear what these parasitic thoughts are trying to get me to do. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna show up anyway. I'm gonna say it anyway." And the way that I have been practicing this is that I have to sit and I have to call God in. I call Yeshua in. I ask for my heart to open. I ask for myself. I continue to say, you know what? Let me be even more of service today. Um, and I ask for my heart to open. And I remember that people, this is going to perhaps trigger people. It's like, well, don't say that because if you say that, then you're affirming it or confirming it. It's like, no, it's really happening. It's just like you have to pay taxes. I hate paying taxes. Don't say that. Then you're affirming that you have to pay taxes. It's like, but I do have to pay taxes, even if it's illegal. Like I pay taxes. It's like you will be attacked the closer you get to God. And not the God of, like, love and light, right? Like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sit in this meditative Om Shanti Shanti Om, like, oh, all is well, love and light." Like, no, it's a battle. It's gonna get real. You're gonna have to fight against these parasites. You're gonna have to fight against it, and you don't fight against it by, like, trying to move you gotta fight. You gotta be in this, right? And so you gotta keep your heart open, and keeping your heart open, it's not about for me personally, it's not about finding myself in some sort of higher vibe, like, "Oh, I gotta positive think or move myself into some higher." It's like, I gotta remember what it means to go against every small, tiny, little seductive, thank you, Melina, for that super chat. Every little seductive way in which this entire world is trying to pull me off course. And I got to keep my eyes open and I have to feel everything. And I will not run from anything. I will not run from a thought. I will not run from an emotion. I will not run from a behavior. I won't change it. I will stand in every single thing that arises so that I can practice continuing to align with God in whatever thought, whatever emotion, whatever behavior, whatever experience or situation pops up in my moments. I will not escape from it. I will not try to get out of it. I will recognize that this is just another opportunity for me to continue to align with God's work. And think about that for a moment. Think about saying that when you have an emotion you don't like, a thought you don't like, a behavior you don't like. Every moment that you are like, "Ugh, this sucks. I hate this." Can you also say, "In this moment, I'm aligning with God or source," whatever word resonates, right? In this moment, I'm aligning with soul. In this moment, I'm aligning. I say go to straight to God. Don't even do soul anymore. Just be go straight to the omnipresent everything. Which is also why I bring Yeshua in 24/7 right now, because for whatever reason, there is this way in which um, he brings me to this state of awareness with God so freaking fast, so that I can stay in this battle, so I can stay in this world, so I can feel everything, so I can master it. And the way you master it, in my opinion, is not by trying to get out of it or fix it and bypass it because you're gonna figure out a way to not feel certain things or change the thoughts or all. No, you master it by sitting with what is and recognizing it's not you and that it doesn't have any power over you. An emotion has no power over you. A thought has no power over you. You think about all the times that these masters, including Yeshua, would sit in silence. Why did they sit in silence? They didn't sit in silence to bring themselves into an Om Shanti Shanti Om state. They sat in silence so they could master what was controlling them. They mastered it by recognizing what it was that controlled them in this human experience, so that they could become free of the shackles of the illusion. The shackles of the illusion is that you are the thoughts, you are the emotions, you are the behaviors. You are not God. So the more that you can sit in quiet, in stillness, the more that you can be the observer, the more that you can become aware of everything instead of trying to fix it, get out of it, find some solution for it. You sit with it and you watch it start to dissolve because you're realizing that everything that's coming in that you're attached to, that you can't stand, that you want to get out of or fix, you bring God into that moment. You align with God in that moment. I'm being trained to be a vessel for God or source. What it's doing is it's activating the purpose that you came on this planet to act to be in. We're all becoming who we have always been. This beautiful light, this beautiful consciousness, this beautiful soul that is one with God. And it doesn't happen in the moments where you're in some beautiful, like, uh, you know, it happens in the if you're lucky enough, you are gifted the moments of uncomfortableness to be able to continue to get back into that. It's like there's constant teachings, there's constant lessons, there's constant initiations over and over and over to teach you, to train you to align with the God that you are in human form over and over and over. And so it can look like um, physical pain. It can look like no motivation. It can look like exhaustion. It can look like insane parasitic thoughts that are stopping you. It can look like judgment. It can look like fear. It can look like a relationship dissolving. It can look like you continuing to get angry at somebody and blame them for everything, right? All kinds of ways that it's going to arise in each of our moments. And it's not these ascension symptoms per se, it's training so that you can let go of all the labels and all the ways in which you think it's going, and you stay with what is over and over, and you say, thank you, this is the gift. Oh my God, what now? What am I being gifted to see? What am I being gifted to practice? And the way that you practice it is that you realize you're in something. I'm in the moment where I have no motivation, and maybe it's every day, 7 days, 8 days, 20 days, 6 years, I don't know. I'm in something, and whatever I am in is gifting me an opportunity to drop deeper into service of God. Service, service, service. Being the vessel. Get out of my own way. It's not about me. It's not selfishness. It's selfishness, selflessness. It's not about you. Get out of the way. And watch what happens. When you start saying that more and more, please get me out of the way. Let me be of service more and more. Make me a vessel for your work, God. Make me a vessel for your work. Watch what happens. You'll be challenged more than you thought. Parasitic thoughts will come in louder than ever because it's trying to get you to stop that. No, that's not the direction we want humanity to go. Absolutely not. Do not become empowered and aligned with your God self and start serving humanity. Nope, nope, nope. And so then you get to practice. You get to practice fighting against all of that. We didn't come here to be of service to ourselves. We didn't come here to become billionaires and millionaires and all of this. We came here to be of service to others. We came here to awaken the planet through selflessness. That's why you're here. That's why you're going through everything you're going through. And so one tool I would offer you today is the moment and you're already in it, right? Whatever you are in that you are battling or fighting against, that you think is you and that you got to figure out, you got to get out of it, you got to navigate it, you got to, you know, you got to do all these complicated things, you got to heal your trauma, you got to go back and fix all your ancestral lines. Try this instead. Just stop for a moment, okay? Say to yourself, close your eyes, and just for one moment say, God, make me a vessel for your work. Or you can say, Source, make me a vessel for your work today. That's it. I came here to be a vessel for Source, for God. See what happens. The other tool you can do is in the midst of all of the chaotic thoughts and all the crap you're going through, right? The ups and downs, right? And yes, it can be this easy. The battle can be easy, even though you have to, because the courage to stand in it is the courage to stand in the battle is enough. Bravo. You're facing it head on. You're in it. Don't make it worse by trying to fix it. Just see what happens when you also say, I call in Yeshua to do this, but call in whatever you want, whoever you want, but open my heart. Open my heart. I came here to be a vessel for good. I came here to be a vessel of change. I came here to be a vessel for God. Because you're an aspect of God. We're all aspects of God. We're all God, whatever you think God is. And the whole purpose of this evolution is to walk with that awareness, not to do all of this, you know, we will find ourselves on the healing wheel for the rest of our lives, or we can just start to remember what we came here for, and that we are these vessels, and that we are an aspect of God, and that we are here to walk hand in hand with humanity through this, through selflessness. And if it gets worse for you as you say this, keep saying it. Keep saying it. Because there's something happening. There's something happening. If you're being attacked, you're doing something right. Right? So don't let it get you down. Call source or God in even more. Show up no matter how hard it is. Have more compassion for yourself and others, no matter how hard it is. Forgive those that have hurt you, trespassed against you, right? Forgive them. Pray for them. Do it differently. So again, the two things that I would recommend is no matter what you're in, no matter what the world wants to tell you, no matter how loud the world is, and how happy everybody seems to be, and all these things, right? Um, I just want to remind you that you don't ever truly see behind the scenes of everybody that you're watching. Okay, so that's the first thing. You do not know what goes on behind closed doors. So do not judge yourself based on how other people are being, or being perceived, or showing up, or showing themselves. Trust me, you do not know what is behind the door in their lives. Okay, so don't judge yourself or beat yourself up. And the second thing is that in every moment, just say, God, make me a vessel for your work, or Source, make me a vessel for your work, and open my heart. Just open my heart. And open your heart doesn't mean you go out and love everyone, and force yourself to love everyone, or opening your heart means that you open to life, that you show up. Just open my heart. And something just happens very subtly. It takes a lot of courage, um, to authentically show up and trust what's showing up for you. It takes a lot of courage to authentically show up as you. And you can truly sort of bypass, not in a bad way, but like you can really bypass all the complicated, um, complexity. You can bypass a lot of complexity, um, right now, by just really taking on what's right in front of you and saying, let me be a vessel. See what happens. Let me be a vessel for God. It might not even make any sense because you're dealing with a divorce, or you're dealing with not being able to pay your bills, or, whatever it is. And just sit there. The moment you're stressed out over these bills, like I don't have enough money to pay, the moment you're stressed in that moment, stop, close your eyes, and just say, "Let me be a vessel for God." See what happens. Then go back to opening your eyes and stressing out over the bills or whatever's happening, right? Just start practicing that. All right, you guys. That's it. I love you. Thank you so much. If you're interested in our Stillness with Yeshua class, highly encourage you to join us. The link is down below. We start April 23rd, 11 days, sitting with ourselves, sitting with each other, really practicing awareness, but also calling Yeshua in and letting him sit with us and having him gift us with some words, some energy, some feelings. It'll be a lot of fun. I love you so much. I will see you next Tuesday, same time, same place. I hope you enjoyed this. Pass this on to people that might resonate with the message. Be gentle with yourself and be of service. I love you.